Hey guys, it's Wayne, one of the editors over here at CGM, and for this week's Sound Off, it's not going to be a Sound Off. This is actually going to be a PSA, public service announcement. So what I'm actually going to be talking about this week is Amplitude, Kickstarters. I don't know whether you guys are aware of the full story, but let's turn the Wayback Machine to just a little over 10 years ago, turn of the century, 2003. Harmonix back then was just, it's like a small independent game company that, liked to do stuff usually relating to music. And they'd come out with some games. One of them was called Amplitude. And for you guys that are aware of tunnel running arcade games like, Tempest, that sort of thing, it was the same basic principle. You start out at the bottom of the screen, you're on a track, and stuff is coming towards you from the top of the track towards you. You shoot it, but, it's like the big differences here was that there was like, some pretty catchy electronica music that was playing, and when you shot stuff and used power-ups, this kind of added to the overall complexity of the music that you were hearing. Now, this idea of things coming down from the top of the screen and eventually hitting the bottom and, like being rewarded for hitting it in time with the music should sound pretty familiar to you guys if you know who Harmonix is, because eventually they went on to invent Guitar Hero, and then from there they moved on to Rock Band, and now they're doing Dance Central. But earlier this week, they announced that they want to come back to Amplitude, and they've got a Kickstarter campaign to try to get the ball rolling. Now, it seems a bit weird to most people because they're like, well, you guys are Harmonix, you did like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, so aren't you guys just like rolling in money and you can do anything you want? That's not actually the case. Harmonix is a small company. They can only work on a few projects at a time, and those projects are usually funded by somebody else. So, for instance, Dance Central, which is a Microsoft Kinect exclusive, that stuff gets money from Microsoft. When they were doing Rock Band, they were getting their money primarily from Electronic Arts when, it's like they were partnering up with those guys. So for Amplitude, it's a bit of a different situation. They've got people that are coming off presumably from Fantasia, which is a game that's supposed to be coming out this year, and they would like, they've got this very small window of opportunity in order to create this game. They're not asking for money from anybody, at least not the publishers. They've gone to Sony, who actually owns the rights to the Amplitude name, and they got Sony's blessing, but Sony, at least on the surface, does not look like they're actually stepping in to fund this. But Harmonix would really like to do it themselves because, one, they themselves still really like this title, even though it's over 10 years old, and, it's like, perhaps more importantly to them, there are fans all over the world who, still really want a sequel to this game. But it's not going to happen unless people step in and actually start donating some money to Kickstarter. Now, what they're asking for is, I would say that it's a little bit on the mid-ground. They're not asking for $400,000 the way Tim Schafer was. But then, actually that didn't work out very well for Tim Schafer because they ended up needing a lot more money for that. Conversely, they're not asking for a AAA budget either, where they need millions and millions of dollars. They're asking for $775,000 American dollars, which is fairly reasonable, but still on the cheap side if you're making a game that's going to be on the PS3 and the PS4. So if you are one of those guys out there that actually played Amplitude back in the day, or thanks to Dance Central and Rock Band, you're actually just a really big fan of Harmonix, then just get on your computer, get on your tablet, it's like get on your smartphone, and then get on Kickstarter, and just go over to this page over here and just, give them some money. I mean, it's like in the immortal words of the original Starship Troopers propaganda movie, I'm doing my part, so you guys do your part too. Give them money.